The Skulls trilogy, just released on Blu-ray from Mill Creek Entertainment, and we are going to talk about this Blu-ray release today. Now, this video is not sponsored, nor did Mill Creek actually send me this Blu-ray copy. I actually paid for this out of my own hand, pre-ordered this from Amazon, got it to me yesterday, so I sat down and watched the Skulls trilogy for the first time. Never seen these movies before. So you're getting my unbridled thoughts on the movies and the actual Blu-ray transfers and how these movies look. So that's just a note. Let's talk about the Skulls trilogy. So this movie series is about a cult, if you don't know. And it's about these guys actually trying to get into that cult. It is actually, I would say the first one's entertaining. Because you have that's just what it is. These two guys trying to get in a cult, doing these weird things. It's kind of like, it's got some action and fun atmosphere to it. It's entertaining. Not a great movie. Not super, like, high art or interesting. It's just a fun little movie. The sequels, on the other hand, the first one was a theatrical release. The second and the third were not. They were like direct-to-video sequels, but they were all right. They weren't horrible, and you could see why they weren't. Why the first one, didn't spawn off like a whole series of movies as of like theatrical sequels, because the first one wasn't like some massive hit, and the movie doesn't look that great already. So, and that's one thing I'll be talking about with the Blu-ray transfers here. It's that it already doesn't look that great. So let's actually talk about this Blu-ray transfer for a second. This is the front. I do really like this front cover. You get the two main characters on the front, and then you get a skull, and this is the Skull trilogy. It's a nice font there. You get Skulls 1, 2, 3, written across the bottom there. On the back, you get the description of the trilogy. Then you get that. So you get descriptions and the ratings of the trilogy, all that stuff. Let's start with the description of the first one here. Let me read that for you. When working on my words are stumbling. Give me a minute. When working, a college class student is invited to join a secret society known as the Skulls. He thinks it's a dream come true till his roommate turns up dead. So, that's kind of like an interesting premise. The second one, secrets prove deadly when Skulls members witness a brutal murder in the society's chambers Secrets prove deadly when the Skulls members witness a brutal murder in the society chambers, and his own life is in jeopardy when he tries to expose the truth. Kind of those descriptions. So that's kind of an overview of what some of these movies are about. They're interesting. They deal with secret societies. If you like that sort of thing and those types of movies, you'll have fun with these movies. They're not super great, not super well written. But yeah, so that's kind of what you deal with here. And then you open this up, and it's one disc. Now, there are 3 movies compressed onto this disc. So some people, I think, are going to look at that and go, bullshit. I'm not doing that because these aren't going to look very good. They're all on one disc. Can't do that. Here's the thing. There are 2 ways I look at this. If this was $30 right now, if I bought this and it was $30, yes, I would be angry. I would be upset because I'm paying more money for this. This is laziness. It is. It's laziness and being cheap. So, I understand that kind of tone to it. But, let's look at it this way. There's 2 ways I look at it, like I said, and we'll talk about the first one here, which is that these have never been released to Blu-ray before. This is the first time. So there may not ever be another Blu-ray release of these movies. So I would grab them. Because if you love these movies, this may never be it again. Sure, they don't look the greatest, but they look better than the DVDs. They do. And the other part of it is this. Like I said, if this was $30, I would be angry. But this was not. This was $13 for 3 movies. That's an incredible, insatiable deal. $13? Oh, hell yeah. $13. Shit. That's such a great deal, right? So in some ways I get it. I get it that it is a little frustrating when you look at this the set here and you're like them compressed. Now, I'll be honest with you, I would prefer these be on individual disc. Let's actually talk about how the Blu-ray transfers look. They don't look the greatest. They are a definite upgrade from the DVDs, but the way I look at it is this. This is a Mill Creek release. Mill Creek just buys the rights to movies that already have HD transfers. So their HD transfers may look a little iffy at times, but most of the time they look alright, and they're not usually super great. The point of Mill Creek as a studio is that they're just putting out stuff that other studios have ready to go and they just didn't bother to put out. That's what Mill Creek does. So basically these are Universal movies. Universal's catalog, we've mastered these movies, right? Didn't put them out on Blu-ray. They're just doing the work. So you can't really blame Mill Creek from how these movies work. You can blame Universal and say, hey, that sucks. But Mill Creek is just doing the dirty work that another studio wouldn't do. And they're also doing you a favor, right? So if this came out from Universal, guaranteed this would be 20 or 30 bucks. Guaranteed. This was 13 from Mill Creek. There's a big difference there, you know? And I think that if you want these movies, this is a pretty decent edition. If there's a better edition that comes out years from now and you'd rather get that, cool. But as we're talking right now, this is the only Blu-ray edition of these 3 movies. And it's at a good price. It's at a good deal. I recommend it.